So this was supposed to be just an introduction. So the bad numbers. By the year 2050, the global population of the world is expected to reach 10 billion people, which means a 52% increase in the global demand for animal protein, and actually a 70% increase of the global demand for food overall. Proteins, as you know, are an important part from our diet, but actually 40% of all proteins consumed globally come from animals. Actually, in the top three, this is from pork, from beef, and from poultry. And this, as you can imagine, puts a big strain on the food industry. Animal agriculture is, in fact, the leading cause of climate change, and you may be surprised to learn that it's actually 40% more contributing to global warming than all transportation in the world combined. It is due to animal farming. So I wanted to say that actually cropland and farmland in EU is more than 60% used to feed animals. As you can see, only 20% actually feeds people. And this is a huge issue because of cleaning cropland every day through deforestation, which is actually outsourced to other countries, especially in South America. Here you can see the main driver of deforestation is agricultural expansion. Actually, the EU imports over 70% of the feed needed, the soy feed needed for animals, to feed agricultural animals, and this amounts to 30 million tons every year. As you can see, this leads to large-scale deforestation in countries such as Brazil, where the deforestation every year is the size of Luxembourg. Can imagine how much that is. So is there an alternative? Is there a way to deal with this protein crisis? Actually, alternative proteins have been a hot topic for a while now, not only in Europe, but globally. And alternative protein sources include plants, of course, but also algae, insects, cell-cultured meat, and precision fermentation. Here you can see just a few of the startups in Europe, which are numbering already in the hundreds, that are working in R&D and innovation-intensive processes to come up with solutions that would help feed the growing population of the world without inflicting the damage that is now being inflicted for animal protein production. Why are insects important? As an alternative protein source, insects are important because they can replace the soy and the fish meal that is used in animal feed and replace it with something that is sustainable and nutritious for animals, as insects are actually a normal food for animals in the wild, as you can imagine. We're talking mainly about pet food, aquaculture, and poultry industry. Because nowadays insect protein is still considered a source that is more expensive, unfortunately, than that farmers can afford. So it is used as a premium food, especially in pet food, in aquaculture, and in poultry feed. Why is it important? Because it can give a circular food system approach. Insect bioconversion, the process of converting one plant-based source into something else, in this sense protein, is a truly circular model that comes from getting agricultural residues, leftovers from agriculture, and transforming it through insects and producing protein products. But not only that, also fertilizer to be used in agriculture. In this way, nothing is lost through the value chain. The black soldier fly, I want to introduce the black soldier fly. This is the bioconversion champion, as we say when we go to schools to present. The black soldier fly is the insect that we rear at Nasekomo's premises, and it has the power to convert over 60% of its food into valuable body mass that afterwards turns into protein. Of course, not the insect itself in this sense, but its larvae are the ones that are converted to protein feed. So here you can see that actually these insects are fed with plant-based side streams as production side streams such as the one that is left over from beer production, from the production of fruit juices, from flour production, etc. These are ready-made sources to feed insects with. this is nutritional food for them. And in this way, side streams that would otherwise go to a landfill or be burned are valorized again and used again in an industrial symbiosis model. Here you can see a map of industrial insect production in Europe. Actually, Europe is the #1 industrial producer of insect products in the world right now. And here are some of the biggest insect producers. You've probably heard of some of them, such as Protix in the Netherlands, Insect in France. As you can see, Nasekomo is the only one in our side of the world, in Southeast Europe. Most of them are in Western Europe. So the insect industry is actually perfectly positioned to be part of Industry 4.0, which is the implementation of intelligent technology into manufacturing and production processes. The insect industry has all of this technology that you see here, and this actually is a picture from our plant near Lausanne. This is a robotic hand which is moving crates full of insects around, which is a very labor-intensive process. This is within a Horizon 2020 funded project, actually. Here you can see this yellow thing over there. It stretches over 15 meters. We call it the Airbnb. Because they're in levels in the sense of vertical farming. Insects are reared in beds and tended to almost entirely by robots, which always measure the moisture, the heat, and everything that needs to be measured up until 12 days old when they are harvested for manufacturing protein products. Actually, Nasekomo has a more ambitious vision for the future, not only producing a lot of protein, but also democratizing the insect industry by providing newcomers to the industry with turnkey technologies to build their own factories and valorize their own side streams if they have a beer factory, for example, or other type of plant production. The insect industry is a very R&D intensive field, which may come as a bit of a surprise. But actually, since the industry is so new, there is no data as there is in the, with cows or with pigs. There is no data. So every day, scientists that work in the genetic center of fly genetics at Nasekomo are discovering ways to further production and maintain regular production levels. Scientific cooperation, also international cooperation, is very important in the insect industry. And here you can see 2 Horizon projects that Nasekomo is part of. One has already finished, but this one is still going on, where this is all about industrial symbiosis in the fish industry, where fish processing side streams are turned into feed. Are we eating bugs? I know all of you are thinking this all the time. Usually that's the case when we present anywhere. In fact, 2 billion people worldwide are eating bugs every day around the world, not in Europe, but in other places. Yes, of course, China, Latin America, Asia. But also in Europe, according to a recent survey, people are mostly prone to eat insects in bars like protein bars or as supplements for sports, as sports supplements. So if you're feeling adventurous, why not? Here you can see, actually, I think the way forward for this industry is that it needs more education and awareness raising for the sustainability impact that it can have on the food system. We are already attending a lot of presentations at schools, partnering with universities, scientific institutes, but also within the startup ecosystem. Here you can see a presentation we did in Mosaico a while ago. I think that the way forward would be to really educate the public, because there is, as you know, there is a bit of an aversion when people say insects. A lot of people are averse to the idea of them even, but they can be very important they have been important for our ecosystem for millions of years, and they still have a big part to play in industrial insect rearing for sustainability and circularity. Thank you.